देवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयो मुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवती नैष्टिकी Canto 7, Chapter 12, Shloka number 3. Chandansi adiyata guroho ahuta yat suyantrita upakrame vasane cha charano shirasa nameta. Word to word meaning. Chandamsi, mantras in the Vedas like the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the Gayatri Mantra. Adiyita, one should chant or read regularly. Guroho, from the spiritual master. Ahutah, being addressed or called by him. Chet, if. Suyantritah, faithful, well behaved. Upakrame, in the beginning. Avasane, at the end of reading Vedic mantras. Cha, also. Charano, at the lotus feet. Shirasa, by the head. Nameta, one should offer obeisance. Translation by Srila Krishna Prabhupamurti, Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Being called by the spiritual master, the student should study the Vedic mantras regularly. Every day before beginning his studies and at the end of his studies, the disciple should respectfully offer obeisance unto the spiritual master. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान् च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितान् च नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे. This is most important shlokas. In these shlokas says the perfect society for spiritual classes. One time, Pradyumna, the disciple of the Prabhupada, asked Prabhupada, being called by the spiritual master, one should study the Vedic mantras regularly and every day before beginning his study, and at the end of the study, disciple should offer respectfully his obeisance unto the spiritual master. This is the training. The Brahmachari should arise early in the morning and worship Guru, Agni, Surya, and Bhagwan Vishnu, Surottaman. We heard about these four things in the shloka number 2. In the evening, in the morning, there should be class on the order of the gurus. A student means disciples of the gurus should assemble beginning begin reading the Vedic literature. Chandansi. Chandansi means the Vedas. Vedic mantras like Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Gayatri Mantra. Uh, uh, for this, there is no any erudite scholarship. It does not require any erudite scholarship. Simply one has to hear, and therefore another name of the Vedic literature is Shruti. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu 1.2.10. This class means that everyone has to learn Sanskrit. This is asked Pradyumna to the Prabhupada. That time Prabhupada said, no, that is not necessary. To learn Sanskrit is not necessary. Uh, you may be good or bad. You are not scholar, but Krishna has given you facility of hearing and seeing. You have given eyes and ears. So in the Kurukula, you have got the first attend the Mangal Arti, Guru Vandana, hearing the Vedic literature like Srimad Bhagwatam, Bhagavad Gita. In this shloka, again Prabhupada said, the Sris, Shudras, and Dvijabandhu, they are not understanding the language of Vedic literature. So, Vyasdeva write the Mahabharata, that is called Pancham Veda. Uh, Bhagavad Gita is the essence of Mahabharata. That is it is difficult for what do you mean? There is there is the Bhagavad Gita, essence of the Vedic literature. Mahabharata, Ramayana, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, and Veda. Original Veda is Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda divided in four parts, four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, and Sam Veda. Atharva Veda is the original literature, Vedic literature, which is based. Bhagavad Gita is essence of Vedic literature, which is based on Vedanta Sutra. In Vedanta Sutra says, in the Vedanta Sutra said, Hetu Hetu Madbihi Vinishchita Brahma Sutra Padai Cha Eva Hetu Bhi Vinishchita. The Bhagavad Gita is based on Brahma Sutra. Brahma Sutra means Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra is very important. It is the summary of Vedic studies. Jalmadi Yasya Yata Srimad Bhagwatam 1.1.1. It is the sutra, a synopsis. It is explained nicely from the Vedas. The Vedanta is the summary of Vedic literature. The Srimad Bhagwatam is the real commentary on Brahma Sutra. So one should read daily at least 1 or 2 hours. That is the human life. But people are going to the libraries for reading newspaper and nonsense literature. They not come to hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagwatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of Vedic literature. Said before it, Nigama Kalp in Nigama Kalpataroh Galitam Palam Idam. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.3. In Srimad Bhagavatam said Nigama. Nigam means Vedas. Agama Nigama. Nigam Kalpataroh. Vedas are just like desert. Whatever knowledge we want, there is perfectly, without any mistake, illusion, and cheating. Other literatures are man-made, that are cheating, imperfectness, mistake, and illusion. Four defects are in man-made literature. But Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, like Param Vedic literature, are away from these four defects. according to Vedic civilization, if you give evidence from the Vedic literature, it is to be accepted. That time there is no more argument. If we give the evidence, Indian civilization, all our literature will file, therefore, full of quotation from Vedic literature to prove it. That is the actual, not imaginary. One should read here Chandansi. Chandansi Adhita Guru. Guru's duty, Adav Guru Ashrayam. A student should go Guru's near Guru and ask him. This also told Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 4.34 shloka. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. In this shlokas also told तद विज्ञानार्थम स गुरुम एव अभिगच्छेत. मुंडक उपनिषद 1.2.12. tat vijnana means transcendental knowledge. One should approach guru and guru's place. He keeps disciple to learn the Vedic literature. uh, 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 Srimad Bhagwatam, Brahma Sutranam, Vedartham, Paribhramitam. Our Prabhupada's mission is to invite for studying Vedic literature. Bhagavad Gita, Vedai cha sarvai aham eva vedya. Bhagavad Gita 15.15 means to understand Krishna. So, this movement, Krishna conscious movement, is therefore very important to know the Krishna. Chandansi adhyat guruho ahutta chaita suyantrita, well behaved. Suyantrita means well behaved, just like machine works systematically. The machine of watch is working systematically correctly. Same, every student, every disciple must work correctly like machine. There is no question why did not attend school or class. uh, he uh, he he is rising in the morning early and attend Mangalarti, that is called Suyantrita, working like machine. No discrepancy. Suyantrita. Then after Upakrame means in the beginning and Avasane means at the end of. When disciple or students come in in ahead of Guru, he give his respectful obeisance to the Guru in the beginning, and when he goes after, he also gives his respectful obeisance to the Guru. Between going and coming and going, between that time, he learned the Vedic literature, understanding. Yasya prasadat bhagvat prasada. Uh, that is the principle. If you offer your respectful obeisance to Guru, he becomes pleased. Anyone, even offender, he comes and offers obeisance to the superior Guru, then even there was offense, he forgets like father. The son, if the son may be offender, but when he comes offers his respect to his father, he forgets the regular. There should be done regularly. So yantrita, just like machine. As soon as we see Guru, we must offer obeisance, and he leaves place. He must offer obeisance. Uh, like that, when you saw the Guru, that you give obeisance. Like if he saw 100 times Guru, he give his obeisance to the obeisance to the spiritual master, his Guru. Uh, he he do his practice like this. Therefore, this is essential that the student should be very disciplined. Discipline means one follows the discipline. A disciple means one follow the discipline. That is disciple. Sishya, the Sanskrit word, it comes from the verb shishya. One who voluntarily accept the ruling of the spiritual master, he is called shishya. Shishya, shashana, shastra, all these things comes from the same root. So this is the instruction. Chandansi adita guroho ahuta chet suyantrita upakrame avasane cha charano shirasa nameta. It is essential to make the human life real civilized. Children should send to Gurukula. But nowadays, there is no Gurukul system. We got some Gurukula. Prabhupada said they started some Gurukulas, United Texas, and another Gurukul in Vrindavan and another in Mumbai. So that Indian's position. Uh, uh, was in Bombay, someone asked Prabhupada, what is the important to learn like Gurukula Swamiji? They have to learn their bread. That is the India's position. They do not care for their original culture. They are after money in US. Many Indian students questioned them when they was speaking Berkeley University. One Indian student came forward and asked Swamiji, what this Hare Krishna will do? We have to learn technology. That time Prabhupada said, this is the mentality at the present moment of Indian, that is not very much interested in the spiritual advancement of life. It is risky, foolish persons. They do not know this is very risky life. This risky life is, they do not know where they are going. They are doing their pattern in the spiritual life, from the spiritual life. They spoil their spiritual life, human life, simply for what? For only eating, sleeping, mating, and gambling. This is risky life. The Krishna conscious movement is the scientific movement. It is trying to save human society from risky life. They train. Risky life means we are not cultured. We do not take Krishna consciousness and properly train. 3 points are given in these shlokas. Not culture, not take Krishna consciousness, and not properly train. There is chance, every chance, to become again cats and dogs next life. This is understanding, but they don't know. तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति ही भगवद गीता 2.13. देहिन अस्मिन् यथा दहे गौमारम यौवनम जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति धीर तथा न मुह्यति. When one sharira left, another sharira we another body we accept. And if you don't do properly your work like human being, you don't keep yourself don't keep yourself like cats and dogs. If you keep yourself your behavior like cats and dogs, then after you get the body of cats, dogs, and pigs. So they do not know this science. They thought that after the death they will finish. Everything is finished. But that is not the that is not the right. after death there is also next life begin. So Krishna conscious movement is trying to help everyone so that he may be not uh, not everyone so that he may not fall again to the cycle of birth and death, and at the risk of becoming cats and dogs. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Who would like to add right now?
If you want to add something in it, please uh, you can add.
Hare Krishna. So thank you Mataji for adjusting and adding up so many important points on this shloka. So as we were discussing yesterday, this 12th chapter is basically how Narad Muni is now explaining about the four Varnashrama system. So if you all remember the Varnashrama system, we are going to be talking about we are going to be talking about the four what things. So there are four life stages which we are going to be talking about, or what Narad Muniji has been talking about in this particular chapter. So he started about explaining in the very first shloka what a disciple has to be doing, and that first thing which he talked about was the importance of controlling the senses. And then he explained that the disciple has to be submissive. See, that is the very most important quality which any disciple should have: submissiveness and a firm friendship to the spiritual master. And once you have these two qualities, then with a complete vow, ideally the student, the disciple, the brahmachari should be staying with the guru in the gurukula. That is what has been our Vedic civilization. In fact, the foreign culture has just copy pasted us, and that is why you will find that there are boarding schools. So boarding schools is nothing but a, what I'll say, perverted reflection of the great Vedic science that we have been having. There you used to be training the children on what is good for them, what actual Vedas are. As Mataji was talking, wherein in Bhagavad Gita Krishna has clearly said, Vedescha sarver aham vaidya. I am the biggest of the Vedas. I am the truth. I am the ultimate truth. So if you want to understand Krishna, you need to understand the Vedas. And amongst the Vedas, what is most important is the Vedanta Sutra. So Bhagavad Gita, as Mataji started in her discussions, is clearly a reflection. So we have also covered this previously, how there have been so many Vedas. After the Vedas, the Vyasdev, who is an incarnation of Krishna himself, he could foresee that the human civilization in the Kali Yuga will not be having that intelligence, that memory power, wherein they can remember everything. Till that time, it used to be, everything used to be Shravanam. Shruno, anyone who used to be having a Shrunoti, and then he used to remember the things. But then considering the future, what is going to happen, Vyasdev decided to write down everything. But then the story goes that he was very fast and there was no one who could write as fast as he could say. So then he approached, and then Ganapati ji or Ganesh ji, Lord Ganesha, said, yes, I will write whatever you say. And that is why you will find that there is a Ganesh Gufa, wherein Ganesh ji is sitting and Vyasdev was dictating. Yes, so that you can remember. And then he was saying, and as Ganeshji was writing, and that is how all this Vedic literature was written. But then even after writing all these things, he was not satisfied. He did not get the satisfaction. So after the Vedas, he wrote the Upanishads. Even then the satisfaction was not there. And that is when he wrote Srimad Bhagwatam. So Srimad Bhagwatam is the ripened fruit of all the Vedic literatures. And in that, we see the discussion between Krishna and Arjuna, which becomes the topmost of all the knowledge. Because here, Krishna is directly giving the information to his disciple, his dear friend, Arjuna. That is why it is the song of God. Bhagavad Gita means song of God. So whatever comes in Bhagavad Gita, that is the importance. So Narad Muni is going towards that only now. So initially he has said how it is important that the brahmachari should have been controlling his senses, should be submissive, should have firm friendship, and stay with the guru in Gurukula. And then yesterday we saw that what he should be doing twice a day in the dusk and the dawn, he should be fully absorbed in the thoughts of spiritual master, fire, sun god, and Lord Vishnu. That is important. So yesterday we saw it cannot be Krishna directly. It has to be first Guru. That is what Mataji also said when she was talking about that one has to Adau Guru Ashrayaha. First you have to take the shelter of a Guru, bona fide spiritual master. He is the one who is going to light that fire in us, who is going to remove that whatever is the dirt which has accumulated amongst us, which is preventing us to see the truth. And he is going to open up our Shastra Chakshu. Through Guru's service, we will be able to serve the fire god, the sun god, and then we will be able to approach Lord Vishnu. There, now Narad Muni is further training what should be the qualifications of the disciple. So in this shloka, what Naradji is saying is that as soon as the spiritual master calls, the student should study the Vedic mantras regularly. And before doing any kind of studies, you should offer obeisances unto the spiritual master. Now the question comes, what is the importance of giving obeisances? As you would have observed, whenever we are ending the lecture or whenever we are having the end of the sessions, we always say, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So we try to offer obeisances. So there is a science behind it. And that is where the Western civilization has been lagging behind. And that is why they don't have those family values, those relationships, those strong interconnect that we have been having since time immemorial. We all acknowledge that in this body, as we were talking a couple of weeks ago, this body is not what actually we are. We are the Atma, the soul. And along with each Atma, there is a Paramatma. So if you remember the lecture that we had, I think last week itself, wherein we were talking about how the whole civilization came up. So we had Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu, we had these expansions. So amongst those expansions, then we come across these three Vishnus, the Kshirodakshay Vishnu, the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and the Karnodakshay Vishnu. It's the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, the Karnodakshay Vishnu. Then we have the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who is in this ocean of the milk. And then we have the Kshirodakshay Vishnu, who as Paramatma is situated with each soul. So this body or any body, even the body of a coronavirus that we are worried about nowadays, has got a Paramatma along with that soul. So when we offer obeisances, we are showing our respect and we are giving our obeisances. We are submissively telling that this body is submitted to you, O Paramatma, who is in front of me. That is the importance of offering obeisances. And that is why we teach our children right from young age that as soon as they get up, they should give obeisances to their elders in the family. As soon as before they are about to sleep, they should give obeisances to elders in the family. Whenever they are going out, they should give obeisances to the elders in the family. Whenever we meet anyone, especially in temple or anywhere, we give our obeisances. The ideal obeisances for the Prabhujis is that they should give Sashtanga Dandavat. And for Mataji's, it is the Pancha. That is, they should just be doing like this. They should not be touching their body completely on the floor. And if the person in front of us is elderly, who may have certain difficulties in giving full Sashtanga obeisances, then we should not give Sashtanga obeisances to him. We should simply do like this, so that we are not putting the person in front into any difficulties. This is all Shastra. These are practical tips of what the Vedic civilization is, of what we should be living like. And this is all what is coming out from this shloka. So this shloka says that the student should be offering obeisances as soon as he sees the teacher. And after completion of the teaching, again he should offer obeisances as a mark of respect and as a mark of gratitude. Because the Guru has now started that system by which his Gyanendriya are going to be activated. And he is going to get the real knowledge. And what is the real knowledge? The real knowledge is we are not this body, we are soul. That real knowledge is going to be obtained by the students, and so they are giving their respect, they are explaining, they are showing their gratitude. Why this real knowledge is important? Because unless we understand who we are, we'll continue to be in this cycle of repeated birth, old age, disease and death. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, which are the real problems. The problem today is not that some prime minister in some country is killed. No. That is a fact that death was sure. The problem is not that there is political instability. The problem is not that there is an atmosphere of fear. No. These are temporary. The real problem is everyone is going to face death. The real problem is if we are not careful about the kind of death and the kind of thoughts that we need to have at the time of death, we'll again have to take birth. And again, birth means again that problem that we are suffering. Because this world is Dukkhalaya. Krishna has clearly declared it in Bhagavad Gita. This is Dukkhalaya Shashvatam. This is a temporary world which is full of miseries. And so we have to be very careful what kind of death and what kind of thoughts we need to have at death. Otherwise, tatha dehantara prapti, as Mataji explained today in the lecture. If we don't want to have this dehantar, we need to go directly to our original position. We need to understand who we are. And that realization, that real knowledge is going to be obtained by the disciples from the Guru. And what that real knowledge is? That we have our relationship with Krishna. And what is that relationship with Krishna? The relationship is of servitude. The attitude of servitude. Our eternal position is as a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. The moment we understand this real position, 100% of our problems are going to be solved. We are going to be happy. See the face on our smiles the moment we have listened that we are going to be happy. And that is possible. There are crores and crores of examples. We have seen Prabhupada doing this magic. We have seen the hippies getting converted into happies. That is history. And not a past history of millions and thousands of years ago. This is recent history, which is documented, scientifically proven. The history that you and me are talking, and immediately after the lectures we feel happy, and we feel how come the next chanting session is going to come early, when will that 7 a.m. come, and after that when will that 8 p.m. come, and we'll again start listening to Bhagavad Katha. And how soon we can have our YouTubes on, how soon we can listen to different lectures, how soon we can listen to Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Why? Because we have this relationship with Krishna. And that is why after listening to Krishna, we get this happiness, we get this smile on our faces. See the vibration which has been created the moment we speak Krishna. Speak loudly, all of you. Krishna, 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 Krishna. And see the benefit that you are getting. And this is happening because our real position, our real relationship is with Krishna. in the servant or servitude, attitude of servitude. And we have to go back to Krishna. The moment we go back to Krishna, everything is going to be solved. Mataji in her talk right now was giving the example of father and children. See, we have made mistakes. And that is why Krishna has told us, okay, you want to enjoy separately, you don't want to serve, go. Go to the material world. And material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. But again, this is temporary. So here, after coming in the material world, after experiencing these problems, being entangled by the three gunas, we understand that we have made a mistake. And we are apologizing. We want to now go back to Krishna. And Krishna also wants us to come back to Him. So just like parents forgive the children for their mistakes, Krishna is ready to forgive us. And that is why He has even shown us the path of how to come back. And that is Bhagavad Gita. That is our Vedas. And in Kali Yuga, the path is very simple. It's most simple. Krishna himself came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he exemplified the path by which we can go to him, back to Goloka, back to Krishna Loka. And what is that path? That path is Bhakti Yoga. And that knowledge is something which we have to imbibe. And we are going to be getting this knowledge from the Guru. And that is why the importance of Guru, that is why the importance of offering obeisances to Guru, that is why the importance of understanding the Vedas from a Guru, from a spiritual bona fide master. And who is the spiritual bona fide master? One who comes from the Parampara. Anyone who gives the knowledge as given by Krishna as it is, he is the real Guru. He is the real spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master. And the qualifications, the qualities which he imbibes or which he shows, exhibits is, he is happy and he exemplifies the Bhakti Yoga. So that is how we have to understand or we know who the right Guru is. So that is the summarization of this shloka number 3rd from the 12th chapter of the 7th canto. So thank you very much, every one of you. As requested by Mataji, I am sharing the attendance link. So kindly mark the attendance. Do also mark whatever queries you may have so that they could be responded. At times we have